Now you got health care, you got the jobs bill, you got the cash for clunkers program, you got stimulus, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Democrats are going all out to get all of that done. Lots of focus on that and all of that stuff. My next guest is worried it's all the wrong stuff, and it's telling terrorists worldwide we're focused on other stuff. Former USS Cole Commander Kirk Lipphold joins me right now. Commander, Happy New Year to you. Very good to have you.
Happy New Year to you as well, Neil. Thank you for having me on.
It's interesting, Commander. Everything goes full circle. I mean, really, if you think of the modern view of the war on terror, it started with what you and your men had to deal with the USS Cole, and a little country we didn't know called Yemen. What now?
Well, I think you have to look at it this. If Americans do not feel secure in their country, that their national security is being taken care of, all these other grandiose programs that the administration wants to drive are going to be secondary and must be secondary. You can talk health care, you can talk economy. Look how the impact on the economy was so devastating following the 9/11 attacks. Quite frankly, we're going to have to make national security the top priority, and the administration's got to get it right. They may be working that way, but quite frankly, I think they're trying to put it on a back burner because it has not been a priority for them. They have other priorities when you look at health care, especially in the last several months. You haven't seen national security mentioned as a major issue anytime.
But is there really a public appetite, Commander, for dealing with beefing up our security efforts or anti-terrorism efforts in Yemen and expanding what would presumably be a war on terror that has gotten wider and further than we first envisioned?
People want to have faith that their national security is being taken care of. It doesn't necessarily need to be advertised every day, but they want to know that they are safe. Christmas Day taught us that there are shortfalls in the system that are going to have to be addressed. When you look at Yemen, that is a problem that has been there for years. Personally, I obviously experienced it with my crew back on October 12, 2000. We didn't learn our lesson. We did nothing with that country essentially until post 9/11. We really haven't engaged since then because the president hasn't wanted us to, because he fears being toppled himself if he gets people too capable and too trained in counterterrorism operations. And the reality of it is we need to lay the law down to him. You may be caught between the devil and the deep blue sea with all these tribal leaders that are harboring and have sympathies toward al-Qaeda, but the other thing is you don't want to deal with us when we're pissed off, because quite frankly the United States deserves to be safe, will be safe, and this administration needs to do whatever it takes.
All right, do you think then that this view that we don't call war on terror anymore war on terror, as we look at enemy combatants, or we rephrase our national priorities to be domestic ones and not advocating going to war with anyone, preemptively or otherwise, that maybe with the best of intentions here, and then maybe even assuming the purest of heart, what the president has done is provided opportunities for bad guys?
Well, right now, Neil, this administration came in with a mindset that it felt like national security issues and the war on terror should be downgraded. They didn't want to discuss them. Right. They wanted a policy of engagement throughout the world. If we extend the hand of welcome, they will learn that we're good people, and we will do that. I think we're learning, quite frankly, around the world, whether it is with al-Qaeda, Venezuela, Iran, that we have extended the hand, and guess what? It's been bitten on numerous occasions. And quite frankly, the American people are beginning to get a little bit more concerned that there is this pervasive attitude that we are willing to tolerate. In the eyes of the world, it looks like weakness. We're going to be taken advantage of. And unfortunately, I know what the senator said regarding Janet Napolitano and having to go away. The reality of it is, it isn't going to matter who they replace her with. With the attitude that the administration is engendering right now, whoever steps into that breach is probably going to be living with an attack on this country if this attitude doesn't change.
But to Janet Napolitano, should she be fired, regardless of what would happen under her successor, if that were the case?
I think it's too early to tell. Yeah. I think the reality of it is we need to look at where the systemic breakdowns occurred in the intelligence. I mean, right now, quite frankly, I hear what Mr. Brennan was doing on all the talk shows this weekend, but that's really the fox guarding the proverbial intelligence henhouse. He created the National Counterterrorism Center. That was his baby when he was working at the Central Intelligence Agency. He can't now give an honest opinion on whether that is effectively working to fuse together all the diverse information from CIA, from the National Security Agency, and other agencies throughout the world in order to allow things like that terror watch list to be an effective tool in the war on terror. So quite frankly, we need someone outside the administration to be looking in to make a long-term assessment, not just the short-term, let's assign blame and put someone head on a platter, but really determine where the weaknesses are after the billions of dollars that we as Americans have spent to try and keep our nation safe. We deserve better, and I think the administration should take pause to learn from this and react quickly, but fix the problems that they identify.
Well put, Commander. Thank you very much again. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, Neil.
All right.